What's up? Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Howe, Las Vegas Realtor, and today I have a message, an urgent message. That's why I'm jumping on today and filming this on the fly. Normally, I do get my stuff edited, but today I'm not going to do that because I think my message is urgent, and also that my editors, they're in. Oh, sorry, they're in Sri Lanka, so they have a holiday right now. But my urgent message on it's an emergency, it's a worsening situation. If you're a seller and you're in La La Land right now, you're losing money, plain and simple. I think this is a terrible time to be a greedy seller, if you will. Maybe that's a rough way to say it, but stubborn. Let's just say stubborn, right? You don't want to be stubborn right now, and I'm gonna go over some numbers that prove why you should not be stubborn in this moment right now. It is it's concerning for the future to see what I'm seeing in a few ways. Is it major concerns? I certainly hope not. But I think we are looking at some changes ahead. We have seen changes for our springtime market. Okay, the last 4 springs, we just did not have the scenario we're having right now. Basically, there weren't enough sellers for the demand. There weren't enough properties for the demand. And, there was a lot of activity during the springtime. And usually that would mean higher prices, median price, sales prices, whatnot. In this month, we have the last 3 months. We started out the year very strong, and we hit a median high price of 485. If you don't know that, that's what's happened. It's stayed the same every month. We've stayed at 485, which sounds great if I'm a seller. It is not a bad thing to be seeing these prices, but what we're really dealing with is more inventory coming on than we usually see in the springtime. Okay. So when you see that as a seller, you're going to have more competition. It's pretty plain and simple. But what I want to go over with is this trend in the last 4 years was not happening. We started out, it was just 10 days ago that I did another update saying that we were inventory was at 8713, I think it was 8729. Sorry. And we have really jumped. We have really jumped. We are at 9,100 right now. 9,100 total properties on the market. Now, that's a few hundred jump in just 10 days. During a springtime when you'd usually see that properties would be coming on and there'd be this buyer activity taking them off, and sure, maybe we'd see an upward movement even in the inventory, kind of like going and then getting pulled back. But right now I'm seeing a surge. I'm seeing a surge at a time when we usually don't see a surge, or at least the last few years we haven't. This very well could mean actually that we're getting back to more traditional times. Traditional, what I mean by that is that you traditionally, prior to 2020, there was, 10,000, 11,000 properties on the market in Las Vegas. And now you're talking, it's a concern when there's 9,100, right? Well, the thing is that you just have so much less buyer activity out there. The volume of buyers, because so many people have been priced out or just not able to do or don't want to, whatever reasons they might have, there's not as many buyers out there on the market. Vegas, if you sell your property at the right price, though, if you list it at the right price, properties are selling. So that's my urgent message. This is the emergency that I want to tell you. If I'm a seller right now, I am not playing around with what the future might hold. It's not to say that the sky is falling, but nobody knows that, first of all. And second of all, this is the biggest change that I've seen in quite a while. And I just, as a seller, would want to get in while we're talking about still being at the top, very near the top. Whatever this slide that I believe is going to happen is, um, why would you want to toy with that? I think you're losing $5,000, $10,000 every month right now, potentially, believe it or not. Now, obviously that depends on your price range, but you could be losing that kind of money. I mean, if you're in the median price range of 485, maybe next month it's 480, and we'll see what they come out with. But I think we're going to start seeing that softening happen, and ideally we're dealing with a softening. I have no problem with the market softening up a little bit and getting better for people who are buying out there. And that's really another message that I would have. If you are a buyer right now, if you're a seller and a buyer right now, get your property sold, get your cash, and then go out and make a deal on a property. You can get a deal. You can see what will happen on your side when you sell. You should be able to do that on the other side. No problem. Okay. You should be able to go out and make a purchase where you're getting concessions from the seller and or a price reduction. Not every property out there is going to be that way. There are still properties that are incredibly popular. If one comes on, it's going to get a lot of activity. And you got to know, maybe some of well, this is what my property is. But, so many sellers just think they have the special property. You may not. And so anyway, properties are going under contract at lower volumes right now. What I want to point out, a big sign right here, and I've been saying it in my reports for a while. Price decreases stay near 1,000. They're staying near 1,000 on the 7-day average. That's a lot. Okay, we're staying in the 900s, edging up to 1,000 on the 7-day average of price price decreases. I don't know if I said increases. I meant decreases if I said increases. So, decreases. There's a lot of them. So that tells you everything. Now, well, what about, you're thinking, well, you're not telling me what's happening with the price increases. Are there any of those below 100 on the 7-day average? So, less than 10% of the versus, let's say 1,000 properties versus less than 100. That's the confidence in the market right now that sellers are seeing. It's the message they're getting. They're getting the message. You are getting the message if you're a seller right now that this isn't the price that's going to work. Okay, so you got to change your price. Why not price it right to begin with? Okay. If you are selling your property right now and you're overpricing it, I think you are a little slow in the head right now. That's just being honest. Okay. So April, early on in April, 8729 properties on the market right now, 9,088. Over a million, we had 1,085 properties that were listed over $1 million, 1,085. Now it's 1,132. Why that's significant is because those over $1 million properties were staying under 1,000 for a long time, well under 1,000 at times. And, it's been the most stable part of the market. It still is. That's still showing some stability. But these increases where you're seeing, it kind of have breakthroughs of the amount that's coming on, that tells you again that more inventory, more competition for a seller. I'm going to get into a couple of other things. What does this all mean for renters? I think if you're a renter out there and you would like to be in this market to buy a lot of. Damn it, it's just not going to happen. All right, I'm back. All right. So that is the trouble here every now and then. I hope this works and I hope it continues as a video. But anyway, I'm gonna keep jumping in onto the next part here, which I was getting into the rental market and what it means for renters. There's a lot of renters out there that would like to be in the buying market. And I hope that what I'm talking about right now actually equates to a better market for those people who have been priced out in the future here. If rates change, let's just jump to the interest rates. One of the problems that we are having is that interest rates are not friendly right now. And as a matter of fact, they had a big jump where they went up, during that tariff stuff, crazy tariff stuff. So um, that is a sign for less demand if those rates keep going up. Now they have settled a little bit, but they're still rates are not going lower. So unless we have a Fed rate change, and I mean maybe a couple of them to where it was significant enough, I don't see the volume changing. And really, that doesn't change a lot of these people who might be renting their situation too much. Um, so the bond market had the worst week. The bond market kind of dictates what's happened with the interest rates. It had the worst week since 1982. That's decades, folks. So not a good sign. I am seeing that rentals, the average days on market is over 40 days for some of these rentals, near 50 days on the market. This tells me that the rental market might be a little softer than it was, although I still think that again, it's almost the same thing as for the advice for sellers as it would be for a landlord that's renting a property. Would be like, hey, price it right, rent it at a reasonable price, and you'll get it rented no problem, because that's what people are looking for. They're looking for reasonable rentals for sure. I've got this right here. I just printed out what Zillow says. I don't always trust Zillow, but everybody does look at Zillow, and this probably is a reasonable assessment. Rental market summary here. The average rent for all bedrooms and all properties in Las Vegas is $19.24. That's the average for all. So there's going to be some properties in there for thousands of dollars a month. So that's not really the greatest number to look at all the time, but it probably reflects pretty well for what I'm seeing out there. That a good rental is going to run you 2,000, 2,100, 2,500, somewhere in there. You can find them for less. The month-on-month change is minus $76, so you are seeing some downward, and year-over-year change 171. Okay, there are available rentals. This is not just on the multiple listing service, but also what you would find on Zillow, 4,815 rentals. That tells me that you can find a rental. Okay, it's not like it was a few years back where it was really, really tough and everything was just going up, up and away. I think that we're seeing still a reasonably strong rental market, but it's coming down to earth. And I think that may continue. The median rental price, when I looked it up, is $1,408 a month. That sounds very reasonable, but that's what the median is. So anyway, folks, as I've been saying, if you're a seller, don't be crazy right now. Yeah, you could be in a crisis situation if you're not careful. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that we're going to go down the tubes here, but again, some things that I just haven't seen for a long time are happening. And if I'm a seller, I'm not messing with it. I'm just going to go ahead and get my property priced right, price to sell, get it sold. And then if I need to go buy another property, I'm going to go do that on the other side and make a deal and, get what I want on both ends. But if you're going to go and overprice your property, I think you're a little off your rocker right now. I think there's, unless you have a specific property, it's not a good idea. All right. So I guess that's really all I had. Just to recap, the springtime market is not doing what I've seen it do in the last 4 years. We are having definitely, still lower buyer volume, but yet the sellers are comfortable to come out and list their properties, and that inventory is starting to pile up. And so that is the onslaught. The onslaught of listings that's happening right now is that we are seeing properties come on the market that we weren't before, in an amount we weren't before. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helps you understand where the market is heading in Las Vegas, Nevada. Anytime I can, I want to jump out and give a update that is to, in the moment like this, rather than waiting for something to get edited and push it out there. Rather, I'd jump on and let you know what's happening right in the moment. I've been seeing these numbers. I keep track of them every week. If you're interested in more, please contact me anytime. I'm Rob Howe, Las Vegas Realtor. You know how to buy or sell a home in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I appreciate you watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the next video. Folks, have a great day. Go Knights.